Hey there guys, what is going on? Welcome to another Best Class Setups in Modern Warfare video in the Season 5 Reloaded update. The Call of Duty Cold War trailer did drop today and it's looking very exciting, and we'll cover more of that very soon when the actual multiplayer reveal does drop, which I think is a week from now, I believe. But today we are of course talking about the FiNN LMG, which is one of the more recently unlockable weapons in this game, and it's an interesting weapon for sure. There are definitely loads of different attachments, and when you first initially see this weapon, you're a bit like, oh, well, it's a bit lame. It's a slow firing LMG, and then you start to sort of slowly start to put some of these attachments together, and you're like, this is actually a pretty cool weapon. Anyway, just before we do get into this particular class setup here, let's try and get this one to 25 likes. You guys have been absolutely fantastic recently. We are still pushing towards 3,000 subscribers, so do help me get there by hitting that subscribe button with those notifications turned on if you have not already done so, to make sure you don't miss out on any of the upcoming content. I still think the R9 Dragon's Breath round shotgun challenge is still bugged, so we're going to try and do that as fast as possible once it does actually start working. But let's just talk about the FiNN LMG here. So by default, the FiNN LMG is a slow firing, sort of consistent LMG that does have not too much recoil. You chuck on some of these other attachments and then it becomes an absolute beam of a weapon. Like, such a fast fire rate of, I think, of about 1,000 rounds, which is pretty wild here. But starting off with our sidearm perks and grenade choices here, we're taking a look at the Akimbo M19s. As usual, basically we just want a very powerful close range weapon. We don't want that heavy duty trigger, that's pretty bad. The fire rate from the lightweight trigger is always the better one. Monolithic suppressor, XRK V extended barrel, the 5mm laser, and of course the Akimbo perk. Basically all we want this for is if anybody does get too close to us, we pull these out and we can blast them away from pretty close range. As for our perks here, we're looking for a very standard setup of EOD, Ghost, and Tracker here for that explosive resistance, staying off of those UAVs, and of course seeing those enemy footprints, which is very powerful here. You can of course take that tune up in the third perk slot just in case you want to get those field upgrades recharging 40% faster. Stopping power on this particular gun is pretty good. I don't think it's super necessary, and we can move on from there. The lethal, of course, is always a C4. Just basically chuck it over a wall, around a corner, make a small smoke cloud, a big explosion. Pretty powerful. And of course, the tactical is the stim shot. So the FiNN LMG is a weapon, as I've said, that is kind of interesting. There is loads of different attachments on this thing that make it very strong. What do I think of the chainsaw stock thing? I think it's a bit of a meme, but it's a meme I'm fully invested in it. Let's go. I love it so much. But just starting off here with a very standard muzzle option of the monolithic suppressor for that sound suppression, that damage range, as well as about a 10% increase to our bullet velocity as well, which is very cool, of course. Nice little extension to our damage range, very important. Okay, the barrels are where the real star of the show is. You get the normal barrels that don't have adverse, and they are the ones that do fire very slowly. I think the fire rate is about 600. I think it fires slightly faster than maybe the SCAR. That's sort of what it's very reminiscent of. But if you do truck on these adverse barrels, the fire rate does go up to about 1,000, which is very wild. Normally, it's a bit like, I'm sleepy of this weapon, I'm bored as hell. And then you throw on these adverse barrels and you're like, alright, I'm invested now, this is pretty cool. As I said, about 1,000 rounds per minute, which is very quick for an LMG. But we are going for the XRK long shot adverse barrel for that damage range, bullet velocity, and increase to our fire rate. This does reduce our recoil, control, aim down, sight speed, and movement speed, but I feel like this particular barrel option is worth it, as it does make it very easy to get those kills, man. Like, these bullets absolutely hose out of this thing. It is wild. It says here, insane rate of fire, and that is absolutely correct. Moving to the no stock here, as I said, movement speed, aim down, sight speed, very important for weapons like this. It is described as a weapon that sort of blurs the lines a bit between assault rifles and LMGs, and that's true in this particular instance. Movement speed, aim down, sight speed, always good. As I said, that XRK chainsaw for that movement speed, hip fire accuracy, and sprint to fire speed is kind of a meme right now, but we're going to take a look at that soon enough and try our best to get that sort of going and understand what that's all about. Very cool option though. In the underbarrel slot, we are looking at that Commando foregrip for that recoil stabilization, controlling the horizontal recoil, as well as a little bit of vertical recoil as well, while not reducing our aim down sight speed is very strong here. And of course, lastly, we want the 5.56 CT 75 round belts. This does give us slightly less powerful ammunition. It does reduce our damage range and bullet velocity slightly, but we do get more aim down sight speed and movement speed. You can always take the 100 round belts as well if you do want slightly more bullets, but I feel like this does make us a little bit slower and we can't really have that too much. It does make a nice little looking bag there. Like, that's a nice painted bag on the bottom of that. That's pretty cool. So as I said, we'll be taking a look at the XRK chainsaw in our own time. Soon enough, we'll have a video on that meme, but this particular FiNN LMG class is pretty strong at the moment. Like, the fire rate is what really draws most people to this weapon. It looks really nice, and it's very easy to unlock. So you'll see a lot of this weapon running around at the moment. So let's just jump into some gameplay here and talk about some options with this particular weapon. I don't know what it is about this particular playlist, like the quick player playlist I've got set up, but pretty much all of these videos always end up on Shoot House or Hovex Sawmill, which is very, very weird. But as I was saying earlier with the FiNN LMG, look at the fire rate on this thing. That's so, so cool. The recoil isn't too significant, but I mean, I've seen a lot of people trying to make that chainsaw thing work, and it works when I pick it up off the ground. Like, some people just pick it up off the ground and it absolutely slaps, but for the most part, I can't build a class setup to make it work. There's usually people sitting up in here. You want that high fire rate. It doesn't have a headshot multiplier, interestingly enough, so getting against headshots does not deal increased damage or anything like that, which is a little bit weird, but I imagine that's probably a sort of notice towards the fire rate boosting attachments. Like, they don't want to just have like a 1.7 times headshot multiplier with a weapon that does shoot stupid quick. So I don't know, that's probably what's one of the balancing features of this particular weapon, but I feel like it's good. I feel like it does perform decently. As I said, it does blur the lines between an LMG and assault rifle, and I feel like it does that pretty well. We want to come around the back here. You see, once you get those shots down target, like on range, on target, down range, the bullets absolutely shred people. Like, get those sights up nice and quickly with the attachments that we've got set up here. Like, man, people just don't stand a chance if you're looking at them. If you decide that they are to die, well, you can do it pretty easily. Oh, no. We gotta go. We gotta go. Everything is fine. This is not good. This is a bad situation to be in. We're gonna go around this side, as I think this is our... What? Apparently we're playing 10v10. I did not realize that at the start of this particular video. I feel like having those 100 round mags would make this a little bit easier in terms of sort of keeping our ammo, but I mean, just shoot less, I guess. But I feel like this particular LMG is fun. It's one of those weapons that's never going to be top tier. Like, it's never going to be 100% top tier of the meta, because LMGs are always typically quite slow. And when you do throw on attachments that do sort of make them a little bit faster, you lose a little bit of what makes LMGs LMGs. Like that recoil control, that consistent damage, like, it's just not really the same. Like, I'd probably much rather run an LMG, or sorry, an assault rifle most of the time over the LMGs. But I mean, this is a very fun weapon to use. I like when they add new weapons. Like, it just changes up the game. You see a lot of people running LMGs that normally wouldn't. Like, as I said, most people choose to run assault rifles, SMGs in these games. And when you see a new LMG get added, loads of people start using them, and it's a good deal of fun for a little while. But for the most part, this weapon's cool. I do actually really like this. It's a different take on an LMG. Like, the fast fire rate is very, very cool. Like, shooting at 1,000 rounds a minute with a LMG is very, very cool. I really do like that a lot. Like, you just, I love it. Getting those sights up super fast is a beautiful. Anything I'm a little bit let down by is, of course, the slow reload time. I almost said recoil time, which is kind of dumb, but really. I wonder if he only saw it. Oh no, he has the hybrid sight. No, he saw us. Captain Price's outfit is a little bit too cream colored for him to not see us there, but that's okay. Not really going to work if we don't time that right, which we did. Oh boy. Why do people play this game like that? Why do people just sit in the corner and never ever move? Like, this game plays so well when people actually run around, have a good time, like they get involved with each other, but people are just like, nah bro, I'm going to post up on this box and wait until people to walk through that door. It's like, just move. Just move. Like, at all. Your precious KD is not going to be affected if you actually move those boots and actually have some fun. Like, is he going to come up the top, or is he going to go on the bottom? Oh, Jesus. The answer was up top, and now I have to go clean my pants because I just shit them. Very, very cool weapon. I just love that fast fire at that decent amount of ammo that we get. It's just a great combination. Pull out that UAV. Like, this, just do something, like, playing like this. Like, move. Move those boots, guys. Get that footwork going. You're not typically punished for aggression in this game. Just be aggressive. Like, it's easy. It's easy. Hopefully when the Cold War does drop, people are more aggressive. Like, No, what do you mean? Oh my god, don't play like this, dude, either. Just like slow walking the whole time. That's so boring. This game is about to wrap up very, very soon if our VTOL can do some work here, which typically they do okay. Like, they do okay most of the time, so we are going to have our final thoughts on this particular weapon in just a second. I mean, I really do want to try and make the chainsaw thing work, but as I said, I think it is a pretty large meme. Like, don't sit here, dude. Don't sit here. I didn't even know this bit was here. Like, that's how much of a loser this guy is. I honestly did not know that was a part of the map that existed. So, FiNN LMG, what do we think? Well, I wish I had have actually, like, capitalized all the letters in that word. That looks kind of goofy as it is, but, I mean, this is a fun weapon to use. LMGs are always not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Like, some people just don't like LMGs. They move too slowly. You get that, like, reduced flinch resistance, so, I mean, it's one of the trade-off things there. Like, this is a pretty good option, though, as far as, like, those combination LMG sort of assault rifle hybrids go. This is a pretty good one. That high fire rate will draw a lot of people to this weapon. This class absolutely stomps. Like, you do have to be quite a high level to unlock all these attachments. I think the monolithic suppressor unlocks at, like, 52 or something like that, so you can sort of make these attachments work and sort of level it up as you go and have a good time with this particular weapon, because it is pretty fun to use. I do actually like it an awful lot. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this one. I do appreciate you stopping by. As usual, those boys who are always in the notification squad, thank you very much for stopping by again, as usual. I do appreciate it, of course. Thank you very much for watching this one. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!